Hello, everybody. Last night I was doing a lab, CKAD Lab, for a deployment that has Node Affinity, and I got stuck and I could not finish the lab for almost 50 minutes because I didn't understand the error message I was getting, which was something about expecting a map that got a string. That led me to studying up on YAMLs again. I thought I knew YAML, but turns out there's some nuances that you should know for one to be able to actually troubleshoot the error that you get if your code is slightly incorrect, right? So the first of all, Boolean. So there are different data structures, right? And if you find the first part boring of this video, please fast forward to the end where I talk about array of objects, because that's the key part that I was missing, and I would hope that you would get benefit of that if you listen to that. The first one is Boolean, really simple. It's just a key value pair of something that has a value true or false, nothing special. Second one is a string, again, nothing special, a key value pair where the second part is a string. You can put it in double quote or single quote or nothing at all. Number, simple enough, just a key value pair with the value being an integer. Um, Key value pair, this is the core of the thing, where each line basically is well, majority of the lines are basically key value pairs. So first line of any YAML in Kubernetes is API version, and that's a key value pair. This is the key, and that's the value. Again, simple enough, right? And we're going to get a little bit more and more complicated or as time goes. Next one is an array, and not to be confused with the array of objects, which is the last thing I will talk about. That's the main thing that you should take away from this video. Here you have a key value pair, except that there's key is only one, and that there are multiple values. And in this case, you would know that because there would be a dash in front of it. Whenever there's a dash, that's an element of an array. And it's simple enough. You can have foo as the key and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the values. Not complicated. Next one that confused me, this is the core of the confusion I had last night. Map and object are the same thing in YAML. It was talking about a map. I've tried to figure out what the map was, but really it turns out a map is just an object. Now, what is an object? An object is it's a set of key value pairs, right? As opposed to an array where you have one key and multiple values. Here you have multiple key value pairs: key one, value one, key two, value two, and that makes it an object. And you would know that in the real life examples when you see that the first line ends in a colon and the second line gets indented, because that's the beginning of the keys and values. In this case, annotation is the first key, and actually annotation in this case is an enlarged object inside the object of metadata, and that has a key value pair, this and the value being one. In this case, generation and one is the second key value pair of the object called metadata. So that's the key lesson there, is the map and the object are the same thing, because in the error message that you get, it talks about map, not object. Now, this is the meat of this video. You should know how to read an array of objects. You see there's a dash here, right? If you have, for example, best example ever, you have multiple containers in a pod, each one would be an element of an array. And you know that because this is the beginning and it starts with the dash. Except that the array is of not of integers or strings, they're array of objects. So the first line is the beginning of the object. You know this is an object because, as we talked about, this has three key value pairs. That makes it an object. And that makes the containers here an array of objects. First dash, beginning of the object, the item of the array, of the array of the objects. Second one, this is the second container, beginning of an item, which happens to be an object, because this is an array of objects. That's what you get the most of the time, and that's where typically it's most complicated. You get into an error because you missed the space or a dash and whatnot, right? So I hope you find this video useful. This is very important for you to understand for the pass the exam. And if you do find it useful, please like and subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you next time on the next lab.